Kevin has recommended the moving forward with requiring the documents, but, you know, it is a council, your policy decision.
Yeah, I would support a later and potentially extended timeline for Met Council items in light of the low criticality of what I'm hearing of them and the low risk that they pose to the city.
I guess I would encourage that we still set that date of the 30th and then reassess that, especially because we can then get some further clarification on if some of them are more critical than we're thinking.
The problem with the 30th, though, is we can't take council action until the 13th of October.
Well, I was thinking we'd make that
You have
decision
to-
by the 22nd.
So if they didn't have it in play by the 22nd, you'd make a,
Or if we, you know, A, we could get clarification on if anything is more important or more critical to have than we think maybe it might be right now. And B, we could at least see what movement there has been, or hopefully have some communication on if we think it's something that's coming in a week or something that's coming in 4 months.
okay. My only fear was if we're doing it on the 22nd and then it lapses on the 30th, now they're stuck without council to reconsider until the 13th.
Gotcha. So are you thinking?
You either have to move it up to the 22nd and make a decision on the 22nd to allow them an extension, or else you have to move it back to give them till the 13th and make a decision on the 13th, or give them till like end of day on the 12th and make a decision on the 13th.
But if you have it in as the 30th, and they don't have it in, then then the decision is made by the lack of getting a document.
Right, but I think Tom was talking about giving them leeway on the
Oh.
22nd.
I think we'll be able to ascertain
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
in 2
Okay.
weeks whether, if we have every single document and there's clear communication between us and them, and Met Council's a black hole, like,
Right.
we'll have that conversation on the 22nd.
Okay.
Like, if nothing's happened, we'll just say, well, that's too bad, it's gonna expire in 5 days or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay.
Okay, so do we,
So you have a motion, do you have enough direction on the motion?
it was kind of piecemeal together.
Should I tell you what I have?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll have a second. and
Whatever
then
we
we'll
said,
clear up-
it's seconded.
We'll clarify.
Okay, so we have a
Michelle's
motion and
job.
second, and now let's,
And who's the second?
John.
Okay. So what I have is to move forward with financial, to approve, yep. Go ahead.
To authorize utility and street construction, if financial guarantees and a pre-construction meeting take place, and within 7 days to receive an fully executed agreement. The 7 days is by September 16th, so we'll take up to get that fully executed agreement by September 16th.
You named the agreement?
I had a different,
Oh.
I thought I had something different.
Then we should clarify.
If we keep talking, it will be 7 days.
I think Alan's motion was to move to allow the applicant or the developer to begin street and utility work if
420.
financial guarantees, park dedication are submitted, a pre-con meeting is held, and the site complies with construction hours. If the stormwater agreement is not fully executed within 7 days, i.e. by September 15th, the city will issue a stop work order. All other documents must be executed by September 30th, including the Met Council documents.
Yeah, so you have to really start your 7-day clock when the last prerequisite is met. The financial guarantees, the pre-construction meeting is done, right? All those things have to be met before they can start working, and then they have 7 days on top of that.
So Kendra, so that would, is that how you have it written?
that it would be 7 days from the date that we have the financial guarantees, the park dedication, the pre-construction,
That wasn't my understanding, but we could certainly modify.
Well, it makes sense because otherwise they could start work tomorrow and you don't have financial guarantees, you don't have a pre-construction meeting.
Right.
So I think you have to
So
make it,
We require,
That's prioritized.
Yeah.
we require all of those prior to the authorization and then they have 7 days from the date of.
yeah, and they could provide the document before they even get the pre-construction meeting. If you schedule the pre-construction meeting on Monday, let's say, you may have the document in place by then.
Okay, so I think we have an understanding of the motion.
If you're comfortable with that motion, that it doesn't, the 7 days begins after we get all of these documents.
And, the
Yeah,
payment.
construction begins
Meeting.
at 7-day period. The clock begins at that point.
And we keep the 30-day for all, to September 30th.
September 30th for all the documents, that's starting now.
Yeah.
But you're gonna be flexible with Met Council possibly.
We'll decide that
Review it on
at the
the
22nd, we'll review that.
So we've placed that on the city council schedule for the.
Sounds good. So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Yeah.
Any further discussion on it? Can't imagine.
Don't hit me, I'm the one that's gotta get up in the morning. I have a real hard time saying yes because staff recommendations and those kind of things, so I still haven't made my decision, but I wanna let you guys know that up front.
I hear you. Sounds good. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
4-1.
And Kendra, you have a clear understanding to move forward with what we need?
I do, and if the applicant needs clarification, they can call me in the morning.
And just so you know, I won't be here on the 22nd.
There's a chance I'm not either.
Hopefully no one else.
Can I make a motion?
On what?
Tenny,
Please.
Yes.
motion to approve.
Second.
This good steer?
Any further discussion?
Can I just ask a question?
Yeah?
So I've heard,
Have a
I
good night.
can tell that some people say that wheel skidsters are better in certain situations than tracks. Is that true, or?
Here's the true statement. We have one of each right now. I'm gonna make this brief. We are finding that track machines a lot easier to do the jobs we want it to do, and the guys actually said, why are we not buying a track machine?
Yeah.
We may run into a conflict when it comes to doing asphalt. We are gonna try it this time to see what happens. We're gonna use it on the trails, possibly to plow trails. It's a trial period with this machine. We love the other one. And after they slid down the ditch about 4 times last winter, they said, why are we buying another tire machine?
Yeah.
It's just safety and user friendliness, I'm gonna leave it at that. Every machine has its use, but for our uses, we're finding the track machine is a better machine for us.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I mean, that's put it in a nutshell. If you need more,
That's
call
great.
me and I can explain it more to you.
Oh,
That's
all
a
I-
fantastic explanation.
If I may, you can also convert it over to a tire machine if the tracks aren't working at a cost.
It'll be a decrease. They are offering, to summarize it in 30 seconds, they are offering us the same trade-in deal of $2,000. All we are paying for is the price difference between a track
Yeah.
machine and their cost difference between a track machine and a tire machine. That's all we're doing. That's where the extra money comes in. Otherwise, next year, at replacement time, it's gonna be $2,000 to get our machine, hopefully, and go from there.
Yeah.
I just hope they keep doing it, because Medina just bought one from Lanos for $4,500 for the same thing, and I know some other cities are way up there, but he's assured me he's gonna keep us.
That's crazy.
We can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Tracks are good.
We can't go wrong, just trade them every year, we're winning.
All right, we had a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm gonna have you come summarize every item for us.
30 seconds or else we would have been done hours ago.
All right.
We'll work on being more like Pat, sorry.
Be like Pat, that's
He could even present for people.
Evan's Corner and be like that.
We had, Public Works has some good taglines.
All right.
Wonderful.
I'm glad I don't have to do this every meeting no more. I have to record saying it.
Can we dismiss Pat?
He can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're all set. Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Thank you.
Night, Pat.
Good night.
We missed you here, buddy.
Yeah. 10F, police officer hiring process.
Hand this over to Matt.
You like Pat,
Wonder
Matt?
if he can be
You
like
like
Pat.
Pat?
All right, I'll do my best to channel my inner Pat. So as we presented in 2021, you know, there's always the staffing shortages. Seems like in the police department, we were fully staffed 4 out of the 36 prior months. With that information, staff authorized the basically pre-hiring of our 2 planned 2023 police officer positions to add a position in 2022. And we did have an officer on leave for most of that year. We ended up hiring Abigail Edstrom. She's done a great job for us, which puts us back, which put us at that 1 over, including one of the 23 positions. As you recall, we separated with Officer Dwayne Hostetler, and we delayed requesting authorization upon his departure to make sure that the 23 budget incorporated at least 1 full year of that pre-hire that was previously Officer Edstrom. So this is a request for basically to continue that authorization to add one of those 23 positions, or continue with that 23 position that was authorized for the early hire. So looking for authorization for the police officer hiring process. The timeline of that would really depend on who the candidates are. If it was, for some reason, if a current part-time hour were to apply, they could be starting within several weeks. If it's an outside applicant, might not even be till January 1st that they're starting.
Any questions?
I agree with authorizing.
Is that a motion?
It's not asking for a motion, but I'll do a motion if we need one.
And it would be factored in the budget?
So
think it needs a motion.
the early start, I believe, was funded on the officer that was out during that time. So I'm trying to recall, for the 2022 funding, do you recall? I think that was an authorization above what was budgeted
Yeah.
when that 2022 approval was made. So that was not included in in this year's budget. We were relying on the fact that we had officers out that were going to cushion overspend, I guess you'd say.
Okay.
However, one of the 2 positions in the 2023 budget would be a full year of this. It would be the January 1 start that we had in.
And to be frank, I mean, the job market's pretty tough right now. I think our plan would be to post it open-ended. We don't know if, our preferred candidate is gonna come through the door on week 1 or week 6 of the posting. We're looking for, part of the reason I'm looking for this flexibility is we don't know how this process is gonna go. I know of 2 other agencies that are posted right now, and they had 3 applicants, and they said 2 of them they couldn't even bring through the door in good conscience to interview, so.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm hoping that we're gonna be better off than them and things go quickly, and that would be a best case scenario. Worst case scenario, we're still looking in a couple months.
Makes sense.
I agree with Jeremy.
Do you need a motion? I think.
Sure
We
that
could just
Yeah.
formalize it, that'd be great.
the police
I
force
so
isn't
move.
cuffed.
Do we have a second?
Go.
Perfect. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, 11A, is the park
11A.
dedication update.
Just a note to council, wanted to let you know, we talked a bit about this at the last meeting. I am working through getting, last week, I actually started working with, I got most of the data. I need to work with the city assessor's office because that data has changed significantly from past assumptions, so I need to work through how that is impacting our proposed changes. Kendra and Jessica Seavey and I spent a few hours on Wednesday trying to work through some assumptions, so we're working on it. We're gonna work as quickly as we can to move it forward. At this point, I would anticipate based on the numbers, just the changes in acreages and costs anticipated, that we will have to amend the subdivision ordinance, which will require a public hearing. But it is a priority for us, as we know there have been increased costs with the proposed changes to some of our park planning items. So we're going to work through it as quickly as we can. It's a little bit more cumbersome and complicated than I had originally anticipated, but we're working through some of those pieces.
Good deal. All righty.
Thanks,
If there's
Jeff.
nothing else, does anyone want the honor of making the motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye.